Hi, everyone. Great to be in the lineup today. As you heard yesterday, I'm part of the wealth and banking team. So I work closely with Jason, Graham, Alan, and Alex Chan. I also work very closely with the VPs across Canada, the BDEs, Samuel Chan in Asian markets, David Emmanuel on workplace solutions, and the tax and estate team. Also, Don Hart. And I want to just say a couple of things about Don Hart. Just when I think I've nailed the presentation, and which I thought I did last fall, Don always challenges and pushes us to just go a little bit better. And when he brought in the technology-enabled angle, and we talked a little bit about that, I thought, yes, you're absolutely right. We can make this even better. And I've always said banking is easy. But further along the lines of my comments about Don Hart, I think we've really, really showed you just how turnkey banking can be. Now, again, I always take a practice management view. This is about you. It's not about any product. It's always about you and your practice. Now, when I say practice, I'm referring to strategy as opposed to product, which, of course, as we know, meets a client need and pays compensation. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what makes the world go round. However, when you're working on your business, the two classic advisor challenges that I continue to hear are, how can I get in front of more qualified prospects? And what can I do to generate more referrals? So these are two almost timeless, universal challenges. You may have others, but I think these two always rank in the top 2 or 3. And this is what I love about banking. Not only is it easy, but it's all at the front end, and it's non-technical. And what I mean by the front end is it really helps you do all of these things better than any other product. So why does using banking really help you do that? Well, first of all, banking is bought as opposed to sold, which is the classic industry expression relating to life insurance, which needs to be sold. It used to apply to investments, so there's a lot of online trading now, so maybe a little less so for investments, but still very strong in terms of advisor-led sales. So all you have to do when something is bought is just build awareness. And if you build the awareness, the demand and the revenue will come. Now, it just so happens that if we were having this conversation like we did 2 years ago, there'd be a lot less of a sense of urgency perhaps about banking. But in light of what's happened in interest rates, this is also perhaps the single biggest financial topic for your clients and their family and friends in a generation. So the 3 best lessons that I have ever seen in financial sales that relates to that and on the practice management level are as follows. The first one came from MetLife. And that is that 90% of advisor comp comes from finding qualified prospects and only 10% from getting them to buy from you. So again, I put the 90% and the 10% in quotes because these are phrases that we've heard over the years, but it's very true that you can have all the greatest credentials, the greatest software, the greatest tools, but if you can't get in front of the right people, it's going to be of limited value to you. The next great quote that I've wanted to share that has always been in the back of my mind for as long as I've been in the industry is that logic unlocks the mind and emotion unlocks the pocketbook. And that is, again, very true today in light of what's happened with interest rates. 2 years ago, people could have gone into a bank the day their mortgage was renewing, looked at the posted rates, not even made an effort to try to negotiate, and would have been very happy with the rate. That's not the case now. They're looking for every possible angle they can to get the best possible rate. Frankly, they could be freaked out about what's going on in the interest rate market and their mortgage, the impact it's going to have on their families. This is a time where we can use our connections to really step up and really help them get through a tough time. And then perhaps the best one that ties into the theme of this presentation about modern ways to connect with your clients comes from a man who I'm sure many of you have not even heard of, Walter Wriston. Back in the day, back in the 70s and 80s, he was the head of Citigroup, and he had a great quote that set the stage, and I actually even saw him referenced in Wired magazine not that long ago. And that quote is that information about money is more important than money itself. Meaning here, I think that if somebody walked in the door and gave you $1 million, that's great. You take it, whether it's an insurance, it leads to an insurance sale, seg fund sale, walk-ins are always great. But what would you rather have? That one person walk in or a list of 20 people with $1 million that you could call, approach, network with, and work with them? Would you be better off in the long run if you had access to a lot of people that were liquid and wealthy? So I thought that was a great quote to share. And it really now then sets the stage for the modern ways to connect part of this presentation. So I thought long and hard, what's the one banking thing that I should do as an advisor? What would it be, Vic, out of all the things that you've been talking about? And it's really going to come down to something so simple, you're not going to believe it. And that is to add banking messages to your e-signature. You all have e-signatures at the bottom of your emails. Well, some of you do. I'll come to that in a minute. And then all you have to do is put in a message of some type. And I've come up with 3 great ones. And these can change throughout the year, by the way, and they don't always have to be banking. So I have access to attractive bank account bonus rates, ideal for personal and business short-term cash, CDIC eligible. And then you have a link. You actually have a live link in there. Click to open account. Number 2, I have bankers reaching out to me, competing for the mortgage referrals in my practice. You have a live link right below that. Reply to me here for an intro. You don't have to put this in there, but you might want to just click, hit send. It's literally 1 or 2 clicks these days. Anything more than that, I'm sorry to say, if they have to type an email back to you, put something in the subject field, just may not happen. 3rd one, are you considering a reverse mortgage? Again, a live link right beneath there. Let me arrange a second opinion for you. So these aren't going to appear all at the same time, depending on whether there's a promotion going on with Manulife Bank's Advantage account or what else may be happening. You can rotate through these. You can have others. They don't all have to be banking. I'm just saying this is the one place where banking can really shine for you because it's a retail response that you're looking for. Now throw in a little bit of nice branding and you've got yourself a business. You've got yourself a standalone line of business. So we created this tagline 4 years ago, the right banking relationship, choice service solution. We did that for you. This isn't something that I use. This is something you can use to convey to your clients, to your prospects, that this is a service that you provide. Now, I'm going to go through this first one in a little more detail. I have access to attractive bank account bonus rates and that link. Because the second one and the third one, those links are really easy. They're just replying back to you. Now, again, I've left no stone unturned on this one. So we're going to actually go through this a little bit more detail, just to make sure you know what you're doing, because this stuff is out there, and unless somebody shows it to you exactly how to do it, it may never get done. So this, I'm just going to get my highlighter here and show you here. Just Google this, add a return email in brackets, mail to, link in a message. Just type that into your browser and Google it, and you will get this screen. Now, I just did a screenshot of the first part, but down below here are like 3 or 4 simple steps how you can create an email template to reply back. So it's going to have your name in the to field. The subject field will have, I need a mortgage intro, whatever you want to put in there. And then it'll just have something in the subject, in the body of it that you want to say, thanks, sounds good. All the client has to do is click your link and hit send. And I'm sorry to say, but in this day and age, our lives revolve around these things. If it takes 3 or 4 clicks, that might not even work. It has to be super quick and easy. So we can learn from what's going on out there and apply it. And banking is the best place to do this kind of stuff. So that was number 2, that was number 3. These are automatic email replies back to you. I'm going to continue on here with, I'll get rid of my pointer. And then continue on with just a couple of thoughts here so you can, again, display it all year, change message monthly or quarterly as needed, or whenever you think is best. Now, you want to check your email signatures. I mentioned this at the beginning. Everybody has an email signature. Well, unfortunately, you don't. I cannot believe how many times I get an email from advisors and there is no email signature. All I see is get Outlook for iOS or sent from my iPhone. I don't know, like, I think having an email signature there conveys that you want people to reach out to you, that you're approachable, that you're reachable. I've seen this hundreds of times. So just go to your phones. I'm on an iPhone, settings, mail signature. If you look under mail, where I see my cursor here, mail, that'll take you into this second screen here, and down below towards the bottom is signature. And you can type your details in there. So quite often it's an iPhone issue. It's on your main tablet, but it's not on your iPhone. So I just want to mention that public service announcement. Okay, now we're going to go back to the very first line, the one about special bonus rates. I have access to special bonus rates, because that's not just the client replying quickly back to you in 2 clicks. That's the client actually opening the account themselves. So the link there is click to open account. What you're going to need for this is your own Manulife Insurance advisor coded URL for Manulife Bank. So you would call your local Manulife Bank BDM or internal, and they'll email it to you. It's custom to you, coded with your Manulife Insurance life selling code. Some of you have more than one, so you'll need to confirm which one you want to use. And that's for the personal deposit promos. This may come as a shock, but clients and prospects can and do open these accounts on their own all the time. So we're missing out if we're not a part of it. It's all coded back so that you'll also collect the comp on this automatically. This is what it looks like. So when the client clicks on that screen, on that link, this is what will come up on their screen. It's a let's get started, opening your Advantage account. And it'll just have your name up here, recommended. In this case, it's my link, so it's Vic Raye, but it'll have your name there. And first question is at the very bottom. Do you already have an account with the bank and bank with us online? Yes or no? So we're just walking through this step by step so that you can see exactly how easy this is, how much easier this was to do. I mean, 10 years ago, the advisors that were involved in opening Advantage accounts and did really well with them had to do all of this by hand, oftentimes with paper apps, or even if it was online with an online application, it was still a labor-intensive process on the part of the advisor. You can open 10 times the number of Advantage accounts now with this kind of technology in a fraction of the time. And I am convinced, based on all the industry work I've seen and done myself, that if you had 10 times the amount of Advantage accounts that you currently do, your insurance business, your seg fund business would be a multiple of what it is today. All right, so let's just now assume the client's gone ahead. What is the client actually going to see here? What does this look like to them? Again, just like the email template back to you, replying back to you, it's just a couple of quick clicks, and this is it's that easy, because anything more than that these days is going to be, unfortunately, hard for the client to do. So what's going to happen is when they go to their phone, to their Manulife Bank app that they've downloaded, all they're going to do to transfer money in from another bank account that's earning next to nothing is to hit that link right there, link and exist an external account. Then that'll bring up another screen where you have to type in the transit number, institution number, account number of wherever your banking is right now. And again, you're not doing any bill transfer payments, you're just linking this. You're not changing credit cards, nothing changes. You're just doing a simple link. And they even make it very easy for you. If the client is not sure what the numbers are, if you click on the little see more, they'll show you exactly where those numbers are. It is so super easy and so super fast. This is what I took these screenshots off my personal iPhone. I know I've got friends, colleagues who are doing this. Your clients may already be doing it with another bank. No reason why they couldn't be doing it with Manulife Bank, and you're getting paid for it. And most importantly, you're getting to see their balances. And this is what this is all about now. So coming back to your practice, what do you check first thing in the morning? It should be, I hope it is, the Manulife Bank Advantage account cash balances on my clients. So this is just a marketing gift. And that's all banking is for us. It's a marketing tool. And that my client's client listing is your equivalent of being able to come into your office, click on it, it sorts it from highest balance to lowest, and you can be the banker. We always complain the banker comes in every morning, gets a list of all the big deposits. We have no right to complain. We have this exact same tool available to us through Manulife Bank. A wonderful program, truly turnkey. They have great digital marketing tools that can help you communicate all of this to your clients. This is the snapshot from the advisor portal, formerly Worldsource, where you've got all the tools that you can use to drive your sales in this area. And these are great social media. This is a PowerPoint, so these links won't work for me. But if I clicked on any one of these, the social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, those are all words that will resonate with your clients. And these are words that, they live by. These apps are unfortunately going to, change the way they're going to have to change the way we do business. We need to get in front of way more people with cash in order to keep growing. And I think this is the best way to do it. All right, so I'm going to go back to a couple of the others in the few minutes I have left. That was the first one about bank promos. I also mentioned getting a second opinion. That's through Equitable Bank on reverse mortgages. So I have to say, reverse mortgages, even in this higher interest rate environment, similar to Frank Abate's presentation earlier about do IFAs work in a higher interest rate environment. Yes, reverse mortgages do work in a higher interest rate environment. The difference is that you're targeting the individual who may only need $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month versus a $400,000 lump sum, which at that point, yes, the way interest rates are, that's not going to be cheap. However, again, there might be a very valid need for that in terms of some estate planning or being able to help out your kids with down payments on homes of their own, etc. The main reason we're looking at the reverse mortgage is because so many homeowners do not set up a HELOC, which is a home equity line of credit, such as the BMO Ready line or the Manulife One, before they retire. And then they're severely restricted in what their limit is. And a HELOC and a reverse mortgage allows you to get around the restrictions that have been placed on qualifying for any kind of a mortgage, including a HELOC. What I love about the reverse mortgage is that there's two segments here. There's the elderly client themselves, but then there's also their adult children. And much of the investigation for this solution is being done by them on behalf of their parents. So I heard a speaker earlier talk about intergenerational wealth. I believe it was Alex Chan. And this is a huge opportunity to tap into that from another angle. So we're currently working with Equitable Bank, and the reason it's the second opinion is that the CHIP home equity bank product really dominates this market, but Equitable Bank is doing a great job chipping away at it, and in many ways it is more competitive than the CHIP program. Of course, CHIP has the big brand name and does all the advertising, but your value as an advisor comes in providing that second opinion. And again, it's entirely the client's decision. So everything I've been talking about until now is retail banking. It applies to retail banking. It does not apply to highly customized commercial or corporate solutions. And I would say IFA or even the corporate borrow to invest that Alex talked about yesterday is a completely custom separate area of banking from what I just talked about. So I just want to share with you in the few minutes I have left some of my thoughts on the IFA side of the business. Clearly, we've gone from 2.45 to 7.2 in record time. Unprecedented, really unprecedented. We have 5 core lenders who we use, and they've done a fantastic job. We actually did more IFA business last year, further again to Frank's point, last year than I would have even remotely guessed. So these are the 5 core lenders. A question I'm often asked, which I'll address today for all of you, is private lenders. I won't mention any of them by name, but they're out there. Well, actually, there's no harm. There's Gracie Point, there's Langhouse, there's others that are coming out. They're active in the marketplace. They may have called on you already. The reason we don't actually promote them is because there's just no visibility. We, with all of these names that you see here, they are highly regulated. They, in many cases, BMO, Equitable, Manubank, Scotia are all publicly traded. They have research analysts as well as OSFI and the Bank of Canada and CMHC auditing, managing, overseeing them. We would have no line of sight into a private lender. And some of them have offshore operations. It's really hard to really see what's going on there. And it's for that reason alone that we don't officially have them on this list. But they reach out to you. We know they do. It's entirely your decision if you choose to work with them or not. I want to say one thing. Those of you in Ontario have a great opportunity in this space with Duca, the credit union. That little credit union with just a few branches in Ontario is becoming a major player in the IFA market. It's a team, 4 or 5 team. I know them well, former Manulife Bank people who are on that team. Randy Cutting is the sales head. Superb resource for those of you in Ontario, and they can work with any advisor actually across Canada as long as the client is in Ontario. So I just want to share a couple of final thoughts here on the IFA side of things. I went and approached our 5 lenders back in the fall in light of the higher interest rate environment. What are some of their thoughts? I put this little chart in the top right to show that we were actually at 7.5 almost 25 years ago in 2000. So anyone under 50, yeah, this is going to be a shock. But a lot of the successful business owners that you're talking to are over 50. This is nothing new to them. They probably started their business and had to take even a greater risk 25 years ago to start their business in a high interest rate environment than they would today in terms of just looking to finance premium on a policy. So one of the best quotes, though, came from BNS and actually Manulife Bank and Duca. A number of the banks mention this. What is the risk? Well, the risk of waiting for rates to come down is basically this. How much is it going to really cost the client compared to today's higher loan interest payments, which are deductible, if they delay the purchase of needed insurance, but then develop a serious health issue while waiting and or their premiums increase? Great question. A really great question, one that we should really walk through with your client. You should walk through with your clients if they're looking at a large policy and are considering an IFA because they're not comfortable with the amount of the premium. Again, I talked about the private lenders. Sometimes it's great to also include the client's current bank if they have a great relationship with their current bank, which would be the private banking division. The regular branches would not know anything about an IFA. It can be hit or miss. Sometimes the client thinks that their current banker is great. Sometimes they think their current banker is a knob. Until if you don't ask, you won't know, and it could go smoothly just by the fact that the client's already known. They may have additional collateral in place. Basic deal breakers just to keep your life simple. Anybody that has a CRA issue, legal issues, or credit issues, best to not go into the IFA strategy. All right, just to recap quickly and summarize, on the Manulife Bank Advantage accounts, we've got 3 bonus rate promos per year. They're actually doing one right now, 5.5 for TFSA and RRSP. And they do these so that liquid clients and prospects can just link their existing external accounts and you can get in front of large amounts of cash. And that to me has always been the key to what successful advisors have been able to do. It's more of an art than technical or science. The average, just so you know, number of accounts, just as something to shoot for, of accounts opened by our top 10 IDC contracted advisors who are doing Advantage accounts is 142. Now, again, those were open many years ago. You do it today, you could do that in a year. with the technology we have. And I'm also really happy to announce that they've increased the comp back up to 25 basis points on the AUM in those Advantage accounts as of Jan 1, 2024. On the mortgage and reverse mortgage side, again, your clients see the edge when you put those little email signatures that I suggested at the beginning, that those notifications can bring to them by offering an intro to your BMO, Equitable Bank, and Manulife Bank contacts. And I'm also happy to report that Manulife Bank, again, as of Jan 1, has instituted a full trail, 10 basis point trail for all new mortgages. So a nice breakthrough there. And then last point, again, on IFAs, work with your tax and estate team. If you've done very little IFA work, it can be daunting. And simple math, simple business school math, 70% of 3 out of 5 deals, which would be a higher closing ratio if you work with Brad, Frank, or Chris, versus 100% of just getting 1 deal out of 5. So let's get the math on your side. Please partner with them. I've worked with them myself on a few cases. They're absolutely superb. And it's great to split the comp and get the experience, and then you can go off and hit the ball out of the park on your own. So if you don't know who any of your local banking contacts are, please contact me. Again, it's a PowerPoint, so you can't activate that link. And thank you for partnering with IDC WIN. I believe that's it for me in terms of time as well. I'll make sure I review any questions and get back to you directly. And now I can stop sharing and turn it back over to you, Greg.